The trip up northeast for the Sun Devils was not a pleasant one as they dropped both games this weekend against Northeastern University. I'm Joe Constantin, joined by Tyler Paley, Dominic Cotroneo, and we'll start with you, Tyler. Penalties really affected the Sun Devils in yesterday's game and tonight's. What was going on there?
Well, it's just been the theme of all season, Joe. And honestly, we're talking to Coach Powers after the game as well as Dylan Holman, and they both attribute it to, frankly, lack of discipline. You know, it was a lack of rule understanding to start off the season in those first two series against Notre Dame and Air Force. But now they're not making excuses. It's just a lack of discipline, and it's really depleting their lines. It's making players be out there for longer, a lot of 5-on-4s, and they're giving up a lot of power play goals, and that's just not something you can do as a winning team.
Now, goaltending being an issue for the Sun Devils. Last night, we saw DeCord and Pashevitz. Tonight, Levin gets to go. What did you see from him?
Well, first of all, he had to face 50 saves, Levin did, or face 50 shots tonight, and he saved a good chunk of them. Granted, when you allow 6 goals, it doesn't look that good, but he still had a great night between the pipes tonight, and last night just wasn't DeCord's night. You could just totally tell right off the bat. 15 minutes in, he allows 3 goals the most, and the fastest flurry of goals he's allowed so far this season. He's a freshman. He's going to be fine. As far as Pashevitz, it was the first time looking at Pashevitz this season, and I thought he looked great. Sure, he allowed the first goal on his first shot that he allowed, but after that, he really settled down and helped ASU win the last 2 periods of the game last night. So Pashevitz might have earned himself a little more playing time come next weekend.
Now, the Sun Devils did score first in this game, 8 minutes in, guys. But other than that, they couldn't get much going. What did you see from the 2 games this weekend? Is there any positives?
Well, frankly, after the first period, and I know it's a small sample size, but the Sun Devils now are 0-5 after trailing after the first period. So they did score first tonight, as you said, but it's really that firepower that needs to continue on in that first period and beyond. They kind of lose that motivation once they lose that momentum. They did go up 1-0. Then Northeastern tied it 1-1, and that's when the Sun Devils kind of started to trail off. Then it became a 6-1 hockey game at the end of it. So it's really just that stamina, that continuation of momentum that the Sun Devils need to improve upon.
As for my positive, I look at 2 guys. Robbie Belargian, of course, playing a little bit of a home crowd, considering he went to BU, not far from here. He's from Enfield, Connecticut. And also I look at Brinson Pashnuk. I thought he had a great couple of games out here, and I really think that with Brinson's play back at the left point on the blue line, he can crash down, he can give you a great pass, or he can even shoot it from there. He's very versatile, and on the defensive end, when he's actually skating back, no one gets by him. He's had a great weekend, despite what the score says. I really like what he played with this past weekend.
Yeah, and now the Sun Devils, after dropping both these games, head back home to Tempe to face Harvard next weekend. You can stay caught up with all the coverage at CronkiteSports.com. For Tyler and Dom, I'm Joe Constantin here in Boston, Massachusetts.